This is my first time doing this eyeliner thing. So if they're wildly uneven, which I'm sure they are, that is why. Like my relationship with Nano. I have done NaNoWriMo 4 times. One of those was technically a camp nano, but 4 times, and I have failed twice. But I've also won twice. So I have this like very interesting balanced perspective I find when it comes to NaNoWriMo, aka National Novel Writing Month. But today's video is all about sharing 5 things that have helped me win Nano. And when I do these things, I tend to go on the path of success and stray away from the path of I give up, I don't want to do this anymore, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm hopeful that these tips will help you along your NaNoWriMo journey as you prepare during this Preptober. But these tips are really just things that have helped me. I will say I am a plantser. I don't know whether this will give you the bonus of like having tips that may work for both plotters and pantsers, or if it's just gonna be a plantser parade. But I'm gonna share these things with you, and hopefully maybe that will help you on your NaNoWriMo journey. So let's get started with number 1. I'm like sick. I don't know if I sound congested, but I'm a little bit sick from the seasons changing, and I'm like feeling like I sound congested. Anyway, tip number 1, having an outline. Don't run away from me, pantsers. I know that saying that has probably made you been like, oh, not for me, and that's fine. Really, when I say plotting, it's not like I do super intense, like jot by jot, this is what's going to happen everywhere outlining. And in fact, when I've done that sort of outlining, it's had the opposite effect. I've actually failed a nano in the past because I over outlined, and so it took the fun away from me like going through that process, which is probably why I'm a plantser, because I want to outline, but too much outlining and I've lost it. I don't want to do it anymore. So what I do is I use Save the Cat. There is Save the Cat Writes a Novel, which is a book/ebook. I just looked up the Save the Cat beats and I just kind of wrote it out from there. I do own Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I've not finished it yet. I'm like kind of bad at reading craft books. But anyway, I just do like those story beats. I list out now as part of my writing process, I list out my subplots. And that's kind of how I do that outlining. It's a very loose outline because, like I said before, if I outline too much, it hasn't worked out for me. But when I've gone in with a 0 plan, I have 100% failed. So it is a tenuous balance between the two, but something that's helped me win in years is definitely outlining. And as we are in Preptober, there's still time for you to jot some very loose notes at least. The number 2 thing that has helped me, and this is kind of in the vein of number 1, is that when I sit down to write every day for NaNoWriMo, I will jot like 3 to 4 just bullet points of what I want to get done that day, of what I want to write down. So I will probably be doing, I am going to have a 60K word goal, so I'm probably going to be doing like 2,000 words a day, and that's like roughly a chapter. And so when I go into a chapter for story planning, I always think, what is my character's goal in this chapter? And I always think that way because it helps me create forward momentum in the narrative. If I just go into a scene and my character's doing like fuck all, then I just find that the scene tends to be useless later. Nothing's happened, it's not necessary. So I'll jot down, what is my character's goal here? Do they accomplish the goal or not? And then like if there's certain plot things I want to happen during that chapter, I'll jot those down as well. So it's just like 3 to 4 bullet points. And what it is, it's just so that when I sit down at the computer to write, I'm just writing. I know what I'm going to do that day and I can just go. What I find really cuts down on NaNoWriMo's success is the amount of time you spend just sitting and staring at the computer and doing jack all. Like, you got to write a book in 30 days. It's a tight deadline, and like sitting and staring at the computer screen or your notebook for like 30 minutes before you even get down to it is such a time suck, I find. So when I do those little like bullet point notes, it doesn't pack me in so that I've outlined so much that is boring for me, but it gives me some direction. So I know this is the forward momentum of what I'm writing this day. And even I think if you're a pantser, like even like thinking in that moment, what do I want my character to accomplish in this chapter? One bullet point and running with that gives you that forward momentum. And maybe that will help you. That's certainly been a help for me. The number 3 thing that has, these aren't in any particular order. I just like, this is the way they're ordered. But anyway, the third thing that has helped me win NaNoWriMo has been planning around my life. So life happens, like your life cannot shut down in November. And I always like hear fellow writers being like, I'm on deadline and so I just stay inside and I don't do anything. And me personally, like I can't do that. I have to go and do things. Some things I just have responsibilities I have to get done. I like to see my friends and that sort of thing. When I did NaNoWriMo for my Black Witches book, I was living up north and I had no friends. So it was easy for me to just isolate myself and sit in my house and write for 30 days. I think I finished like very early too, even though I changed my idea halfway through the month. So I just think like for me, cutting off outside life is not possible. So I would plan around things. So I like to write in the evenings after work, but if I knew I had something to do that evening, I would wake up early and I would get my words in the morning or write during my lunch at work. And that way when the evening came, I wasn't like spending time with my friends freaking out the whole time about the fact that I have to do NaNoWriMo and being like, well, I'm hanging out with my friends and I guess I'll get home at night at like 9 o'clock and then I'll just like write for 2 hours anyway. That makes me panic and that's when I don't get shit done. So that's the reason why I work it around my life. So I have a calendar. I know when I'm going to have an event in the evening and I plan my writing around that. And that was really helpful for me winning Nano. Fourth thing that's really helped me win Nano is strong daily consistency. So here's the thing, when I write regularly, I've really like this year especially learned to give myself breaks. So if I really don't feel like writing that day, I'm not gonna do it and I'll just pass over and that's fine. But I find for NaNoWriMo, because you have this set goal, I am sick. Because you have this set goal for NaNoWriMo, like you really, like you have to get the words done in that time period. And so that sort of thing becomes less possible. Because you take a day off from Nano and then it's like, it's added like 200 words to like every word count, and 2,000 words a day, for example, was already high and now you got to do even more. And I just find that for me, it just makes me panic if I miss a day. So I really work hard to have strong daily consistency. Even if I've written more one day than the other, like I still make sure that I'm writing every day because it just cuts down on that exact anxiety of that I'm playing catch up. And so that's something that's really helped me with Nano, especially because if I'm playing catch up, I find if I get too far behind, then I just give up because I'm like, well, I'm not going to write 4,000 words in a day. I'm not going to do it. So then I give up. So for me, having a strong daily consistency, sticking to those daily word counts has been really helpful for me with winning NaNoWriMo. And the fifth thing that has helped me with winning NaNoWriMo is giving myself room to break rules. So I just said all that stuff that helped me in NaNoWriMo, but I also have to, like, what has always been helpful for me is giving myself room. So this is like the golden rule of drafting, is that you don't go back and edit. But sometimes I need to go back and edit. And I'm just gonna say that up front. For me, I love drafting clean. In NaNoWriMo, it is almost impossible to draft clean. But for me, I'm like, I need to go back and I need to check over stuff. And that's something I have to do. And I think a lot of people tell you during NaNoWriMo, don't go back and check your shit. But like, if it's gonna cause you more anxiety to not go back and check it, then go back and check it. And that's kind of how I feel. I need to give myself room to break some of those rules during NaNoWriMo, because that kind of helps. It helps me feel good during the month. What I always tell myself if I'm gonna break a rule like that is to do my work for the day. So for NaNoWriMo, I have my word count goal and I do it. And then after that, I can like go buck wild. So if I want to go back and edit shit, I can go back and edit shit. Just that sort of thing, like giving yourself room to sometimes break rules. And that'll be different for everyone. That'll be different for you. So maybe you're giving yourself room to break rules is like, yeah, I can't write this day. And I just can't. I can't write this day. And that's the way it goes. You have to kind of give yourself, I find, flexibility during this month. Otherwise, you'll just like, it'll be too much, it'll be overwhelming, and you'll kind of ruin the process for yourself, because at the end of the day, like, NaNoWriMo is a goal and it's something you want to reach, but it should also be enjoyable for you, because otherwise, what's the point? So those are the 5 things that have helped me win NaNoWriMo in the past. I'm hoping this year that I will get to win Nano again. I'm very excited to go forward with it. I have finally set up my NaNoWriMo account. It's under my name, Lizelle Sambry. So if you want to like be buddies on there, by all means, send a request or whatever. I'll like link my profile below as well. And let me know what has helped. If you're someone who's won NaNoWriMo in the past, what has helped you? Or if you haven't won, what's something that you struggled with that made it difficult for you? So comment with that below and we can chat about it. And thank you so much for watching this Preptober video, and give it a thumbs up if you like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more Preptober videos, and I'll be doing NaNoWriMo vlogs and NaNoWriMo tips during the whole month of November. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.